Testing, testing. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and it's me. I'm back. Sainsy93 is back with UFRL. Long time no see. If anyone remembers me. Anyway, like you've just seen, we are racing in Bahrain. We all had them tracks, but we have got Bahrain, which I think for a lot of drivers, I think they could be happy with that. Again, I do like Bahrain. I think it's quite a good track, and it was better than some of them that were left. If I was them drivers tonight, I wouldn't be happy with probably Saudi Arabia. Very tough track, but Bahrain, I reckon we're going to get some good racing there tonight. So it looks like we've got about 15 or 16 people tonight. I think we're possibly just waiting for Mr. Piggy to come back into the group. Some tier 2 drivers back down into tier 3. So what is this? Is this meaning like UFRL's got a bit more competitive? Because this is big news. You've got the likes of Hybrid and Doug. Who else? And Mr. Piggy. He used to be a tier 2 driver as well. So yeah, it should be some good racing. Anyway, let me get up the standings for tier 3. So after round 3, Bakeley Gaming is your current leader in the Williams on 88 points. But the top 3 are only separated by 7 points. Sorry, 7 points. So P2 and P3 are the Red Bulls of Cowley and Jameson. Are they both racing tonight? Only the one. Cowley's the only one racing, it looks like, at the moment. And then in 4th, you've got, of course, my old teammate. You've got Doug. When we were racing in tier 2 together, I remember. So yeah, that's nice to see Doug back in the tracks and racing for the Mercedes. P5 is Cindy's, which is, I think, is MSCF1 Cinders in the Ferrari. P6 is Shazam, another regular driver for UFRL. 7th is someone I've not heard of Ivy in the Alpine. 8th is Ziggy Singleton. 9th is Optimus Prime in the Haas. And P10 is the one and only 50 Gen. With Pops Kong in 11th. Wilco in 12th. And then there we go. That's the... but this is only after 4 races. So it'd be 3 races. So round 3. So, yeah, be interesting to see what goes on. Let's see some of the comments. What does everyone say about the spin the wheel? People actually wanted Monaco. Old man Woody wanted Monaco. Probably one of the only people. And Cinder's actually wanted, we want wet Monaco. You're absolutely crazy if you wanted that. But yeah, it looks like we have got Bahrain. I'm not too sure. I think we're still waiting for a couple of people to try and join. I think we've got a bit of trouble. And we will be starting very soon. So we've got a short quali, and then it's followed by a 29 lap race. But with Bahrain, I think a lot of people know the track. I think probably might be one of the people practice the most, just because normally the first one on the calendar when you drive for single race, and you just normally sometimes do a Bahrain race. So I think it'd be very interesting to see what times are and who will be out on top. But let's see if the leader of Bakley Gaming can improve and extend his lead into Tier 3. So this is round 5, and so last week Doug was your winner in Austria. So Doug was the winner with Ivy second and WRE Bevan third. But as you can see, we've got 15 drivers tonight. Well, at the moment we've got 15 drivers. Again, I think there is possibly someone else that's trying to join, but we'll have to wait and see if they are able to. So everyone's getting their setups now. Obviously, a bit more difficult tonight because it is a mystery track. So hopefully people already have setups. Or they might be scrolling on their phones trying to find something right now. So the first person out on track is the Mercedes of WR Bevan, who is, to me, a new driver. Could be in it because I haven't, unfortunately, been here for a while. But yeah. Be interesting to see. He obviously has some good pace because he got P3 last week in Austria. As you see, drivers are starting to come out here. So as all the drivers start coming out on the track, trying to warm their tyres before their flying laps, we're of course going to stay with the person who came out first, which is WR Breven. But again, we'll see and wait to see what he does. But just while we're waiting, so we got the 2 Aston Martins tonight of Pops Kong and Stone Cold Sai. We've got the 2 Mercedes of Doug and Bevan. We've got the 2 Ferraris of PVR Widget and Cinders. We've got the 2 Kicks of James Killer and Ziggleton. And then we've got the 2 McLarens of Hybrid and Kesonator. Then we've got the Williams of Bakley Gaming, your current leader. Obviously, the table has not been upgraded since the round 4, but he is your current leader on my eyes. Might change, obviously. We've got the 1 Toro Rosso of Shazam, and then we've got the 1 Red Bull of Corley, and then the 1 Haas of 50 and the 1 of Ivy. But here we go. Bevan's in his second sector now in the Mercedes. Got a bit of traffic in front. Let's hope this doesn't hold them up too much. They look like they're quite down the road. As his second sector time is going to be, it's a 1 minute 7.686. So let's see what time he is going to produce here and see what the start of the times are going to be. See what he gets as he goes around the final corner now. DRS is now open and it's going to be a 1:29.681. We have the driver just coming through now. Going to try and find someone closer. 50 gent across the line, 130.970. And there we go. Bakeley Gaming goes quickest with a 129.3 in the Williams. Kesonator is out. Pops Kong is round the final corner now. Let's see what he can do. And it's going to be a 131.2. Puts in P4. Cinders goes P2 in the Ferrari with a 129.6. Hybrid now. Let's see as he goes round the final corner now in the McLaren. Shazam crosses the line with 130.1. Puts in P4. Hybrid crosses the line, goes 4 fastest for 129.7. Let's stay on board with Ziggleston. In the kick, and it's a 107.9. Ziggleston round the final corner now. Let's see what he can do here. And it's going to be a 130.2, puts in P7. Hybrid has retired from the session. Crawley and Kesonator have also retired. I think they retired in the pits though. I think they were serving as Doug, there we go. Doug goes P2 with 129.4. So puts in P2, and this is going to be the last person to cross the line here in the first run before James Killer is on an outlap. Stone Cold here now. He's going to put his DRS wide open, crosses the line, and it's a 130.9. Puts him next to his teammate in P10. As James Killer now is about to start his flying lap, as Kesonator has just told me as well he has got a quali ban. So unfortunately for Kesonator, he has got a quali ban. Not too sure what happened to Hybrid. He did set a time and then he retired, but it didn't seem like he crashed out or anything. So if anyone knows why Hybrid has retired, if they could let me know. As we're going to stay on board with James Killer, as he just lost the back end there. Will affect him a few. He gets a 29.6 first sector. It's a bit tough out there tonight. I think the track is quite cold. It looks like the tyres aren't warming up that quickly. As he goes down this straight now, James Killer. And James Killer's second sector is going to be a 1 minute 8.4. And then as he goes round the final corner now, before he puts his foot on the throttle, opens up the DRS, and it's going to be a 130.7. Puts him next to his teammate in P9, just ahead of 50 Gent and just behind his teammate. As PVR widget now is out on a lap. We've got Cinders and Ivy both on out laps as well. And Hybrid has just confirmed, so crashed out. Hybrid, no. What? I thought you just set a lap time. As Ziggleston goes even quicker, he didn't come into the pits, and he goes P2 with a 129.4. It's a great lap from the kick Sauber. And there we go. Ziggleston goes up to P2. Well, Hybrid, you still got the race to come, so good luck for the race. we're going to go on board with Cinders, as he's going to be the first person now to be on a flying lap. As he is 2 tenths down on his previous times. At the moment he is improving by quite a lot. So what do we guys think of the Ferraris this season so far? Obviously they had the win in the sprint with Hamilton, but in the actual races they haven't done too well, have they? I know obviously still a long way to go, but in China they proper screwed it up, didn't they? So do you think they're going to improve the Ferraris, or do you think it's going to be a tough season for them? As Cinders now second sector, and he is a 10th up on his time. He lost a tiny bit in that second sector. He's still up overall though, but can he get into the top 3 with this time? As he comes into the pits, he's not going to improve, unfortunately, for Cinders. Ivy now, is he improving? That is the question in the Alpine. As he is going to open his DRS full foot to the front. And he goes quickest with a 1:29.1. Goes P1 in the Alpine. It's a great lap. We're going to go on board with Stone Cold Sai, who is in Sector 1 at this moment in time. As Hybrid said, I didn't use much ERS, so went for another lap, and then unfortunately has crashed it. That is very, very annoying, Hybrid, but again, at least you got the race still to come. And Scotty M1986 says the Haas are the better Ferrari cars. Well, at the moment, they look pretty decent. Again, I think Ferraris have got a lot more to come, but has been a difficult start to the season. But I just can't see anyone challenging the McLarens. They look so quick all throughout the weekends in both races. As Stone Cold Sai is nearly a second up on his previous time. So he's going to be shooting up this table if he carries on like this. As Stone Cold Sai now down the main straight. And he is going to cross the line. It's going to be a 1:29.7. Puts him P7. He's 1.2 seconds quicker than his previous lap. So great lap from him, and it looks like everyone is trying to save their tyres. I think they're all going for just 2 laps on the quali. Obviously the other big news today is, what do we think about Lawson looking like he's going to be dropped by Red Bull? What does everyone think like that? Tsunoda getting the drive? Personally, I think Tsunoda should have got the drive at the start of the season. I thought he's done enough in that sister car to get that seat in Red Bull. I don't think Lawson should have got it, but after 2 races dropping him, it seems like a big deal. Like a big decision from Red Bull. Is 2 laps enough to get a chance to sort out that car? But yeah, I think Tsunoda should have got the drive anyway. Don't know what you guys think, but as there is only one person out on track on the lap at the moment, and that's Bakeley Gaming in the Williams. Let's see if he goes quicker in Sector 1. He is a 10th up, so at the moment he is improving. Looks nice and tidy so far. Had a bit of a back end spill there, but I think he just about managed to get around it okay. Don't think there'll be much of a difference there. As Bakley Gaming out into Sector 2. What's that going to be? Is he going to... Oh, he lost it. He lost it. Is he going to be out? He's out. He's crashed. He's lost his front wing. That is huge. He lost the back end and he's gone. So Bakley Gaming will not improve on his time and he will start at least P2. But again, there's now chances for other people to beat him. Very unlucky from the Williams driver. He just lost his back end and he couldn't control it back. And there we go. Unfortunately for Bakley Gaming, he is out of quali. Ivy is back out for another lap. So we're waiting for about 6 or 7 drivers still to come out here. As Cinders is out on the lap. So is Bevan. Both just coming down the main straight, so... And Cinders is first sector. This will be his last lap. He's 4 tenths up on his previous best, so he is flying at this moment in time. At this moment, he is going to be matching the top 2 here. Obviously, he's got to have a good second and third sector in that Ferrari. Let's see what he can do. Nice and tidy round there. Now down this straight, full throttle. DRS will be open as well. As he goes around that corner nicely, smooth as well. Lost the back end just a tiny bit round there, but he is okay. And he is half a second up, nearly 6 tenths up on this time. So at the moment, he's going to be very close to getting pole from Ivy. Can he have a good sector 3 here? Has he got enough ERS into the last straight here? Down the main straight now. What can Cinders do? Can he get P1? He's got DRS open, and it's going to be P1. It's a 128.9 in the Ferrari. Goes pole position at this moment in time. Let's go on board with Bevan, who goes P2 with a 129.1. Just can't beat Cinders. Now let's go on board with Doug. Is just starting his flying lap. Ivy, I think he's slowed down. He might be waiting to go again. Yeah, he is. So we're going to go on board with someone else. Let's see what James is doing. James is half a second up. Round the final corner now. James is going to cross the line. And it's a 129.6. Puts him P7. As Ivy starts his flying lap. A few drivers waiting to the last minute here to get through the... As we've got 50 gent just starting. Shazam and Popscon will not be starting another lap. Just trying to find someone who's close. I think no one's that close, to be honest. Ivy is a tiny bit up on his first sector. Let's just go on board with Doug because he is closer to sector 3. He's about a 10th up. So at the moment he will go ahead of Ziggleston, but that will probably be it. Let's wait and see. He might have a really good third sector here. Obviously quali has finished now, so this will be everyone's last lap. Doug is going to cross the line and it's P6. He does not improve. So Doug will not improve from P6. Ivy is a 10th up on his time. Can he get pole position? Can he get ahead of Cinders in the Ferrari? What will the Alpine do here? As Viking Fox says up the Haas. So come on 50, do it for Viking Fox. Ivy crosses the line and it's only P2. He doesn't get pole position. He goes ahead of Bevan, but he doesn't beat Cinders. So he will start P2 unless someone else can improve. Let's see what 50's doing. 50's a second up and he will cross the line and it will be P10 for 50 Gen. And that is quality done. Unless Ziggleston is doing anything, he has come into the pits. So there we go. The Ferrari of Cinders has got pole position with Ivy in P2 and Bevan in P3. Sorry if I'm saying people's names wrong, but there we go. In Mercedes, Bevan has got P3. So there we go. For the Bahrain Grand Prix, we're going to have Cinders at the front, followed by Ivy, then Bevan, then Bakeley Gaming, then Ziggleston, then Doug, then Stone Cold Sai, then James Killer, then Hybrid, then 50 Shazam, Pops Kong, PVR Widget Crawley, and then Kesonator at the back of the field. So we're just going to have a few minutes break and then we'll be back for the race. But please do not start until the guys say to. So I am back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start in any second because Viva has given the green light. So we will be going any second. Now, obviously, who do we think's going to win tonight then, guys? Do we think the Ferrari will be able to keep onto his pole position and win this race, or will the people behind be able to get past him? Put in your comments now into the chat and let's see who everyone thinks is going to win tonight. As we have the 5 red lights and we are going to be underway. And it looks like a good start for all. Let's get as there is a lot of movement at the back of the field. People have gone very wide. Doug has looked like he's gone down the field. Hybrid has had an awful start. He's at the back now. The top 3 I don't think have changed. Let's get the details up. Position changes. There we go. As you see, Popscong has had a great start up to P9, but Hybrid down in P15 now at the back. The top 5 have not changed. And there we go. Look, the Kick Sauber is having a go at the Williams driver. They're side by side here. Good racing by the 2. And Ziggleston has got him. As now Stone Cold Sai has joined this. Bakley Gaming has lost that position and he's going to be in under trouble. Got a lot of work to do now to stay ahead of Stone Cold Sai. Stone Cold Sai has to stay behind. As there's already a kind of a bit of a gap from 3rd to 4th. They obviously will bring that in because it already looks like they have started to. But can Cinders try and get a second gap out of this? Because otherwise he is going to have a lot of trouble down the next few straights to keep these lot behind. Bakley Gaming is struggling here at the moment. He is on the hards, so is the other people's on mediums. So Ziggleston went on for a set of softs. So that is why he is very quick at the moment. Bakley Gaming went for a set of hards, so did Bevan. And the 2 at the front went for the hards. So there we go. That is why there is a lot of different strategies going on here. So 3 drivers are on the softs. 4 drivers, sorry. PVR Widget has had a sort of spin, I think. Or something's happened, but yeah. Bevan doing really well on these hards at the moment, keeping up not only in the front 2, but he's been very competitive. There's the possibly race strategies. Cinders is really going to struggle to keep these drivers behind here. He's just got to try and let one pass, I think, with the DRS. As Ivy looks like they are going to go for, but he backs out. He has backed out of that. As he's had another go here. Can he go round the outside? He has got it. But Cinders pushes him wide. I think that was a bit too aggressive from Cinders. But Bevan has gone up now to P2. Cinders did kind of miss his braking point there and did push Ivy a tiny bit wide on my screen. Again, not too much in there, but this must be hurting Ziggleston because obviously he wants to get past these drivers to use them softs to the full advantage. obviously Bakeley Gaming, just kind of his own race now. He's doing well just to keep up with these four. Obviously on them hard tyres, so I don't think these softs will last that long. I think give them 3 or 4 more laps and they'll probably be gone. As the top 5 are separated by about 2 seconds really. So very, very close here. As Ziggleston is going to have a go at the Alpine. Nearly collision between Bevan and Ivy. But Ivy does keep hold of that position with Ziggleston. Ziggleston will have another go at him. Goes inside, brakes a lot later, and does get that position. But he loses the back end. So he will lose that position now because he lost that back end to just around that corner, and Ivy has retaken P3, sorry. So you have the softs already started to go because that was a big back end. As the top 5 have started to get a gap from P6 onwards. As we're going to go on board with Doug because he is having a fight now with James Killer, both on the hards. All he's got to do now is stay behind, and I think you have him down the straight. Obviously, James Killer unfortunately does not have DRS. I think it'll be quite an easy move for Doug, and he'll move himself up to P6. Having a bit of a competition though still, but Doug does get that position. No movement at the front. Bevan doing really well on them hards, and having a go at Cinders here. Will just have to stay behind though. Hybrid has pitted. And he's gone to a set of hards. Can Doug though get involved in this top 5 battle? So look, as you can see, the top 5 is just so close together. If Ziggleston wants this soft strategy to work, he has to try and get past, especially probably Ivy and Bevan. Again, these soft tyres, they're going to go in the next few laps. I can't see them lasting too much longer, especially in this dirty air. Doug is catching these guys very quickly as well. He's already gained about half a second on this lap alone, and he's dragging the likes of Stone Cold Si, James Killer and Pops Kong into this battle. As Doug is trying to lose a bit of DRS, goes out the outside to try and lose the slipstream. Cinders looks like he's got some really good pace in that Ferrari down the straight. No one can try and get past him really. As Bevan's going to have to stay behind again. But Cinders did go wide there, so they're going to be side by side here. Touching, they did touch, but Cinders just about stays ahead. Does the switch back. Bevan, that was a great move from Bevan, and he takes P1. What a move by the Mercedes. That is very, very good driving. I think Cinders actually touches the back of the Mercedes as well. I hope neither of them got damage from that. But what a move from the Mercedes there. What a great move that was. As Bevan is now the leader of this race, and he's on the hard tyres. Doing a great job. As you can see, look, Doug already involved in this battle. He's gained about a second on this lap alone. So these are all squabbling. Has brought in Doug, and look, he's bringing the other people. He's bringing Stone Cold Side, he's bringing James Killer, and he's bringing Pops Kong. Cinder's going to have a go down into turn 1 here. He brakes later, and he does retake P1. Bevan nearly crashes into the back. As Bevan now goes back round and he retakes P1, but Cinder's not later on the break. But Cinder's, I think, will not be able to get a good enough exit, and Bevan does take that P1. As Ziggleston loses the position to Bakeley Gaming as well. So does that mean the softs need to start pitting? Because I think they're starting to struggle. But look, there's about 8 or 9 drivers here. There is lots and lots of drivers battling for pole position. So much squabbling has brought the likes of Stone Cold Sai, James Killer, Doug, Ziggleston into this battle. Unfortunately, Popsconk has had a spin or something somewhere. He's now down in P12. As Bakeley Gaming now up to P3. Takes the position from Ivy. So these hards seem like the better tyre now. They seem to be working very, very well. And Bakeley Gaming, he's got 2 positions on this lap, on these 2 corners alone. I think he's up 3 positions in this lap, which has just started to help Bevan, because unfortunately for Bakeley Gaming, he hasn't got DRS. We got 3 wide behind him with Singleton, Ivy, James Killer. Ivy has lost out big time here, down in P5 now, which is out to Doug, and he's fighting with Ziggleston for P5. Bakeley Gaming goes back up to P2. James Killer now takes Ivy for P6, and James Killer's up to P5, takes his teammate. Ziggleston and Ivy now fighting for P6 and 7, and Ivy retakes the position because Ziggleston loses the back end, and Stone Cold Side will take that position. Doug is up to P3, takes the position from Cinders, who's now down to P4. So it looks like these hards are the best tyre to be on at the moment, because the top 3 are now all on the hards. I think the soft tyres will be pitting this lap. I also think the mediums are really struggling as well now. But obviously these hards have probably got to do 16, 17 laps, I reckon. Obviously a safety car can change anything. Cinders is coming into the pits. James Killer stays out. And a lot of people are. Cinders gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It gets worse and worse for Cinders. He might have got damage on his front wing as well. Let's wait and see. Let's go on board with him. No, he doesn't. He didn't get any front wing. So I think the mediums are just gone. As there is a bit of a gap now between all the drivers. But Bakeley Gaming P2 is only 7 tenths behind Bevan. I think some of these drivers maybe were using the tyres too hard, because that's 2 of the top 3 that have gone onto the hards now. Let's just go down to P6 with Ziggleston and Stone Cold Sai. I'm surprised the soft tyres, surprised all 4 of them are still out. 4 that started on them all on 8 laps now. They've done well to get them that far. They must be absolutely killing now. The tyres must feel so horrible. I think if they can get to lap 10 though, change to the hards, they probably could get to the end. As Stone Cold Sight and Ziggleston both pit. Stone Cold, that is a very late decision. We're going to go on board to the top again because Bakeley Gaming only half a second behind Bevan. Will we have a go here into turn 3? No, he stays behind. As a lot of people are now pitting. So Ziggleston and PVR Widget both go for another set of softs. So they've gone double softs here. So they're obviously doing a 2-pit stop strategy. So they're going probably softs and then mediums. Even though the hards seem like the best tyre, I think the mediums and softs just die too quickly. I think you get 2 or 3 good laps and then they really struggle. But we'll wait and see. Obviously, the killer for the hard tyres now, if there was a safety car, because they would have to pit, but the likes of 50 Gen, Shazam and Pops Kong suit them down to a T. As someone is coming into the pits. I think it's 50 Gen. Not 100% sure. We'll wait and see. Maybe they weren't. Sorry, I think you're just getting out the... I think it was just Doug trying to get out of the slipstream with James Killer. James Killer doing a really good job tracking down Doug here. So first and second having a nice little battle, and then third and fourth having a really good battle as well. We're going to go up to Ziggleston, who's just taken Stone Cold Sight for 11th. Ivy and Cinders here having a battle, and Cinders has lost out. I think he must have gone a bit wide because he's not going to lose out. He's going to lose out to Ziggleston and probably Stone Cold Sight. Just about stays ahead of Stone Cold Sight. Doesn't work out for Cinders. Pops Kong really struggling now as well. Probably needs to come into the pits at some point. If he pits now for hards, I think that will get him to the end. He's done 10 laps on them softs. Doing an outstanding job on them. I'm surprised they haven't blown up. They must be on about, I have no idea, 60-70% at least. They must feel horrible. Top 4 here separated by about 1.5 seconds. Bevan still stays ahead of the Williams. The 3 behind him all have DRS, so he must be struggling to keep them behind, but he's doing a great job at the moment. As we're going to go on board with the Red Bull of Cowley. And he has got a position to try and get past Stone Cold Sight here. But Cinders has taken Pops Kong. And Cowley has taken Stone Cold Sight. PVR Widget has gone quickest. Pops Kong still stays out in lap 11 now on them softs. Again, if they can get 12 laps to the softs, they can definitely get the hards to the end of this race. Because obviously the hards seem like a good tyre still. The top 4 pushing ahead of like the 50 Gen. 50 Gen on them old mediums. But who will be the first to blink out of these? Obviously it'll probably be another 2 or 3 laps at least. But at some point someone's going to try and do the undercut. Doug having a go here at the Williams. But will stay behind. James Killer just watching on here. We're going to go down to the Red Bull who has got a chance to take Cinders here. Cinders obviously got a 10-second penalty, so I don't know what his plan is to do, but really affected by that. He needs a safety car probably to try and get him back into this race. As Popscog finally pits. Be interesting. And he goes on to a set of hards. There we go. That hard, I think, will get into the end. As he did 12, 13 laps on them softs, which is, again, to me, is super impressive. Probably affects him, though. He's probably quite far back on anyone else, but we'll wait and see. Top 4 still having a really good battle here. And I just missed, actually, the Williams has taken P1. So I did miss that, but the Williams now in front. Can Bevan get past the Williams here down the straight? Will have the DRS. And he will retake it. So the Williams only had it for about half a lap. And Doug goes for a bit of a dive bomb and takes P2, nearly takes P1 from his teammate, but he does take P2 from Bakeley Gaming. So the two Mercedes are 1 and 2. So now they need to start working together. They need to try and block Bakeley Gaming and James and try and get out of this DRS zone. They've got to try and work together here. 50 Gent has pitted, so has Shazam. 50 Gent comes out in 10th position. Top 5 are the only top 5 are the only not to pit. Only 5 not to pit now. Everyone else has pitted in this race. What they could do with now, if they had a safety car, obviously it'd be awful for the Mercedes, but for everyone else it would be pretty good. So will Doug, his teammate, have a go here down the straight? I wonder if Bevan and Doug are chatting on a group chat or something, because they need to try and work together here. Just can't squabble too much. Obviously Doug will want to try and get past his teammate, because at the end of the day he wants to have team orders. He wants to get into them pits first probably. But obviously at the moment Bevan can choose when he wants to pit. I think they've probably still got to do at least one more lap, at least, to try and get them mediums, to have good mediums until the end, I should say. Because I think they've seen that their mediums probably last 8 or 9 laps and then they proper die. They proper go off the cliff. They jump off the cliff, and as you can see, the Red Bull has got a time penalty. I will just show you the penalties now. So James Killer and the Red Bull of Corley have got 3 seconds, with Cinders with 10. We'll go back to the tyres. There we go. I think one of the Mercedes has to pit though, otherwise he's going to get affected so much. Obviously can't pit at the same time. I don't know what they do. There's quite a big gap now between these lot. I think the person they've got to watch out for is that Red Bull though. Possibly Ivy as well. But the Red Bull is doing the great job there in P7. James Killer there having a go at Bakeley Gaming here. And something's happened. Someone's gone invisible. Bakeley Gaming. I'm not sure what happened there. James Killer is up to P2. Possibly might be taking the lead here. And does. The Kick Sauber has taken the lead of this race I have no idea what's happened. There was a bit of invisible from one of the Mercedes, but the kick salvo has taken 3 positions in one corner. And there we go. Just like that, James Killer is leading this race. Again, I have no idea what happened. But there we go. It's changed. Bevan, I think, went invisible, or Doug went invisible. I'm not sure what happened. And then James Killer just went out of nowhere and got to the front. So there we go. Bakley Gaming down in P4 now. As someone's gone really wide. Bevan has gone very wide in that corner. Bakley Gaming and him nearly touched. They're side by side now going down this straight before they get to the home straight. And then Bakley Gaming does get that position. So in one lap, Bevan has gone from P1 to P4. They all stay out again. There could be 4 wide into this corner if we're not if we get. Doug has taken P1. James unfortunately goes down to P3. Loses 2 positions in one corner. Could lose 3 if Bevan tries to get him in this corner. He does. So, or does he? No. James Killer does stay ahead. So James Killer does stay in P3. But Doug now leads this race from Bakley Gaming. Bakley Gaming looks like he nearly just completely lost the back end there. Just about keeps hold of it. James Killer losing the back end of these 2 now. Something must have really affected him around in a few corners. But he's out of DRS now. We've got a caution in sector 1. Between Shazam and PVR Widget. I think someone will pick this lap. 12 laps seems like the right amount to do on the mediums. Bakley Gaming is going to go hit for the overtake before the straight. Doug, no, they all stay out. So I'm not sure what happened to Bakley Gaming. He's down in P3, even though he did take P1. Doug stays in P1. James Killer up to P2. 3 is Bakley Gaming and 4 is Bevan. Kesonator has pitted. So he's the first of them hard 5 to pit. Here comes out back in probably 11th or 12th. He's gone on to a set of mediums. Are these guys trying to last these softs, last these hards to get onto a pair of softs? Maybe they're trying to go for 20, 21 laps, go for the softs at the end. I don't think that's the way forward. I think the mediums are the better tyre, personally, is what I think. Stone Cold Sire has pitted. He's gone to another set of mediums. Something's obviously happened. You've got damage or something. Popscon is up to 30 with all these people pitting. Doug now got a 1.3 second lead of these. If I was Doug, I'd be pitting for the mediums right now. He's got that gap. He stays out. Is any of them pitting? Nope, they all stay out again. So the top 4 all staying out. I'm very surprised. Bakley Gaming and James Killer having a good little battle here. Helping Doug a hell of a lot. These 3 squabbling is helping Doug get out of that DRS. As there's contact, James Killer touches the back of Bakley Gaming. I'm not sure if any damage happened. Looks like the front wing's okay. Can't see any damage. 2 seconds now Doug leads, so this is working out perfectly for Doug. Cinder's obviously had to at 10 seconds, but he has come into the pits. And he will come out probably behind Popscong. Maybe a bit... No, probably come out there, so... Ziggleton also pitted. He's gone to a set of hards. Didn't go for the mediums, went for the hards. Probably seen that the hards are probably the better tyre. Does any of them pit this lap? We're going to see. We're going to watch Doug. Does he come into the pits? No, he doesn't. He stays out. Bakley Gaming stays out. James Killicunt stays out. But Bevan is the first to pit. He is the first one to jump. And let's see what tyre he is going to go on. He goes for a set of mediums. He is... I'm not sure what's happened. He didn't go. He'll come out probably behind... He might even come out behind 50 Gent here. We'll wait and see. Comes out ahead of 50 Gent behind the Red Bull and the Alpine. That goes on for their mediums. So he's got 9 laps on their mediums. I think if you're going for mediums, come in now. You've got to make them worth it. You've got to use their mediums. I don't think they realise the Red Bull and the Alpine don't have to pit again. They've got to use these mediums well. They've got to try and not only get onto these mediums, get them working, and then get past them 2 drivers if they want to win this race. The top 3, there's a bit of a gap now. 3.3 seconds between the 3 of them. Let's see if Doug is going to pit. So Doug is into the pits. Bakley Gaming into the pits, and so is James Killer. So all of them, 3 of them are now in. Bevan, can he get ahead of any of these drivers? He will have the DRS here. He did get affected in them pits though. He didn't. Doug has gone for a set of softs. Bakley Gaming has gone for a set of softs. James Killer mediums. So very, very interesting. The Red Bull has gone to the front. Doug will come out P3. His teammate will just be behind. But they're going to fight now down this straight. Bevan had an absolute blinding of a lap there. Doug, though, on them fresh softs, will take Ivy in the Alpine. And I think the other Mercedes will also take P3. No, he stays behind. Hybrid, fastest lap. So Doug up to P2. Obviously, the Red Bull has got that time penalty, unfortunately for them. But I don't see how long these softs last. I think, obviously, it's only 7 laps, but I don't know. I think the mediums will become the better tyre. I might be completely wrong, but the Mercedes here getting frustrated on them fresh mediums. Obviously got the Williams right behind him as well on them softs. As Bevan does not take P3. But then Ivy goes wide into that corner. And Bevan takes P3 now. Will Bakley Gaming have a chance here as well? Looks like he's going to get to... No, he stays behind. Can't get ahead. Although he does get ahead, sorry. Bakley Gaming ahead of Ivy. But Ivy's going to fight back. They're going to be side by side here. And the Williams actually backs out of it. Doug catching the Red Bull very quickly. Just heard as well from Merck saying the softs will be fine. Medium softs pretty similar here. So I'm completely wrong. I thought the softs would go out really quickly, but it looks like the softs and mediums pretty similar on how fast they degrade. So there we go. Bevan now trying to catch his teammate Doug. Doug now 2.9 seconds behind the Red Bull. James Killer will be looking to try and get past the Alpine. And Bevan goes quickest with a 1:31.4. Will he have a go here down to turn 1? Nope, stays behind. But he is flying at the moment, the Mercedes driver. And he is going to have a go here, and he does. He takes P2 from Doug. The medium's working really well for Bevan there, and he has taken P2. Bakley Gaming now catching up to the two Mercedes as well. Stone Cold Sire picks up a 10-second, but he was speeding in the pit lane. As Doug will have a go down to turn 1, I am sure. They are catching the Red Bull very quickly. They're now 1.7 seconds behind the Red Bull. The three of them still having a nice little squabble here. All the Williams have a go here down to turn 1. And he does. And Bevan has lost out 2 positions down into turn 1. Unfortunately, without the DRS, it is very tough to keep these drivers behind. Doug does keep the Williams behind. Williams, though, goes for the switchback. They had a bit of contact, and the Williams has to stay behind. The Williams tried the switchback, but unfortunately just couldn't get it done. They're now only 1.2 seconds behind the Red Bull. Doug needs to get into that DRS window before the straight, otherwise he will probably lose out these two positions. He needs that DRS. It looks like he will get it. So Doug will get the DRS. We've got 5 laps remaining. And there looked like there was contact. I think something flew off the back end. I'm not sure if I was just seeing something, but it looked like a bit of something flew off there. James Killer needs these guys to start squabbling to try and get back into this fight. Unfortunately, with the penalty, his competition is probably the Red Bull or P4. Red Bull doing a really good job though. don't think he's going to be able to keep these guys behind, but who knows? So Doug right behind the Red Bull here. Can he get him down into turn one? Looks like it's going to be a pretty easy job. And Doug is now leading the Bahrain Grand Prix. Again, I think the Red Bull driver's race is with the Kicksauber for P4. Obviously with that penalty. But who do we think is going to win this race then, guys? Do we think it's going to be Doug? Do we think it's going to be Bakley Gaming? Do we think it's going to be Bevan? Or do we think something crazy is going to happen at the end of this race? Bakley Gaming now up to P2. Takes P2 from the Red Bull of Cowley. Obviously, I think it will either be one of the Mercedes or the Williams driver. Doug does look in pole position, but anything can happen in these last 2 to 3 laps. We are going to start lap 27 here. Doug tries to lose the slipstream. He goes for the pit lane wall to try and get rid of that slipstream. Baker does not follow him, so Doug 8/10 ahead of the Williams. Bevan cannot get ahead of the Red Bull. So Bevan stays in P4. Unfortunately, this has not been the best race for Ivy and for Cinders. Unfortunately, obviously they start in the top 3, but have not been able to carry it on. Ivy though and 50 Gent having a good little battle there for P6 and 7. Ivy will have DRS here. So will he have a go down into this corner? Bakley Gaming now catching up to the back of Doug with 2 laps remaining. The Red Bull goes wide and I think the Mercedes will take P3. Someone's gone wide. Bakley Gaming has gone wide and he has lost out big time. He's not only lost out to the time of Doug, but Bevan is up to P2 now. Will get the DRS and he's going to have a go into turn 2 and he does retake P2. And there is contact. The Mercedes has lost his front wing. He's definitely lost part of it and that is not going to help the Mercedes of Bevan. Not sure how much of a front wing he has lost, but definitely a part of it has fallen off. And Doug just needs to carry this on now, get his car home, and he will win this Bahrain Grand Prix. Can't see anyone catching him now. Shazam picks up a 3-second time penalty. The Red Bull will get 4th position unless anything crazy happens with these 2 in front. Doesn't look like the front wing's damaged though on the Mercedes. As Cinders and Pops Kong having a good little battle there for 12th and 13th. as now Bevan has taken P2 on the last lap from Bakeley Gaming. There is another contact between the Red Bull and the Williams. Don't think anything fell off this time off that, but there is a good little squabble here for second, third and fourth. Bakeley Gaming has to stay behind. There is probably one or two more opportunities where Bakeley Gaming can have a go. And Bakeley Gaming has lost it. He has lost the back end. He is completely spanned his car and he's down in P5. So unfortunately, Bakeley Gaming, he will probably not get a podium now. He's really got to try here to get as quick as he can, but I don't think he's be able to do it. We're going to have to go on board with the leader though, Doug, as he comes around the last few corners here. But what a nightmare of a last lap for Bakeley Gaming. And there we go. Doug has won the Bahrain Grand Prix with his teammate P2 and the Red Bull. A great race from him. Cowley finishes P3. Bakeley finishes P4. James Killer P5. 6th will be 50. 7th Ivy. It looks like 8th will either be Kesnator or Ziggleston. They're side by side here. Ziggleston will take it. Kesnator did have a time penalty. And his teammate does go ahead of him. Hybrid P9. Kesnator P10. 11th is Shazam. 12th will be either Cinders or Pops Kong. 13th will be PVR Widget. And 15th will be Stone Cold Sai. As Merck says, another P1, P2. Another 1-2 for the Mercedes boys. What a great drive. What great battling throughout this race. Very, very good battle. So there we go, the Mercedes, another 1-2. Great driving from Tier 3 tonight. It was a cracker of a race. Well done to all who raced. It was a great watch. And there we go, the two Mercedes of Doug and Bevan, and then the Red Bull of Cowley in your top 3 tonight. Oh, didn't let me have the whole thing, so unfortunately I can't go through the top again, but there we go. That is Tier 3 done for another week. It's been a pleasure to comms tonight. I have a great time, and yeah, I hope you guys have a great evening, and UFRL Tier 3 will be back next week, and there'll be a race on Friday. So there we go, guys. Enjoy. Thanks all, and good night.